up? What's up? We back in the house.
What was that?
I don't know.
Have nice, y'all. We're going to get right into it because
it's crazy already.
Yeah. Immunity. That's what it's called.
Yeah.
Look. I'm just going to say this real quick. I said this on Twitter. If I see Quincy's body one more time.
I was going to say the same thing. You took the word right out of my mouth.
Quincy's body is like a floor model TV now. It don't work. It's just there for decoration.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm over it. But, Benny, of course, from last week, Benny pops on up and through there. See the body on the floor. Like, Candace, what the ham sandwich did you do?
Yeah.
She was like, we stabbed him. Who was we?
Who was we?
Jeffrey. Well, where he at? I don't know.
He just left.
Benny was like, look, you need to go find him because do you think he went to the police or whatever? She was like, I don't know. He was like, look, go ahead and go. I got this.
Why? You done dispose of bodies before, Benny?
I said, okay, Benny, you might...
Thirsty might be his uncle from Empire.
Yeah, so I said, okay. He was like, Candace, like, I can't let you do this. He was like, look, it's so many words, you ain't got a choice.
Yeah, I got this.
Like Stewie said, go clean your stuff up.
Yeah.
And go and find this dude and leave me here. He picks up a knife. I said, oh, Lord, he gonna chop him up.
Yeah.
He gonna
say we'll have a little shop of horrors deal going on here and we're gonna cut the body up.
So then he grabbed a trash bag and of course that little scene went off. So I don't know what Benny and they're doing up and through there.
I don't know what he going.
My thought process was if you got a tow truck, maybe you could fake like you repoing Candace's car and some kind of way put her car in the garage, get the body in the trunk, then pull the car out the garage. I don't know how he gonna do it. I don't know.
I would just somebody need to get the body out the house.
Yeah.
Let the bodies hit the floor.
I knew it was coming.
Let the bodies hit the floor.
I knew it was coming. So we back at the FEMA jail. Yeah, I know I talked about the FEMA trailers last week.
Yeah.
So we at the FEMA trailer jail. Cop comes in. Harrington. All the Harringtons.
Me? That's me?
No.
No. Jeffrey.
So Veronica was like, don't you talk? Don't you do
say
nothing?
Jeffrey. Don't say nothing.
Where you taking my son?
Where you taking my son?
Jeffrey ain't said a daggone word the whole time.
He pissed.
They push him on up out of there like Justin J would say, and they going on. You got anything to add to it?
Then after that, all hell broke loose.
Yeah.
All hell broke loose, and they yada yada yada. He ain't gonna talk like Wyatt.
Yeah, they started comparing the sons. It was like your son is a little B.
Yeah.
And then Jim was like that one over there, that old. And David was like, that is my wife.
That's my wife.
And
I'm sick of him saying that. We all know, David, that's your wife. It is real clear. We know.
Won't nobody else marry her but you.
But you.
Or stay married to her.
Yeah, every time Jim say something, that's my wife. We know.
We already know.
We sick of it. She the devil. And we know. God darn it. There you go. So they go to fighting over the sons. And
yeah. David finally decks him because he said the B word one last time, one too many times. David knocks Jim out. Well, not really knocked him out, but he tussled him around a little bit. He didn't really give him a black man's punch because he wouldn't have been able to,
Yeah.
Tussling him around a little bit. And did y'all see Veronica over there?
Thought it was funny.
I said, he not taking up for you right now.
No.
He really just, he disrespecting him.
Yeah.
By disrespecting you, but this ain't about you right now, so don't get all up into your goddamn feelings. Catherine Pryor was like, look. We've been in this jail for hours. I said, it's only been hours?
Yeah. Sound like it's been like a whole day.
So she said, we going crazy. Tensions are up at her uprise. This just is calm down. Calm yourself down. They still going at it.
Still going at it.
I said, oh God, Catherine, I don't think you gonna win this one.
I'm telling you, if they go to prison, they ain't gonna survive.
So then Veronica was like, well, Catherine, if it wasn't for your son, we wouldn't be in this predicament. She was like, well, I know. And then here come the son thing again. So we want to talk about sons. Like the precious little Wyatt. Oh, but I bet you your son in there just singing like a songbird right now to the DA. I was like, oh God, Jim.
Jeffrey won't do that.
Yeah, he won't do that.
So you don't know this new Jeffrey. This new Jeffrey is crazy as hell.
He about that life right about
he
now.
about that life. He thug life now. He don't care. Now he still care about his daddy, but he don't give a flip about his mama.
Don't know
his mama, she can set her tail on fire and throw her down the landfill. He don't care.
Like Kid Your Boy said, I'd rather take a torch and douse my head on fire.
Yep.
So the DA comes in, and she was like, nice little fight you got going on. She giving her a little commentary about what's going on in the jail cell. I said, that ain't funny. And she said, well, David, what you mad at? Because Jim is speaking the truth by calling Veronica a B, right? David was like, Veronica said, come closer. She steps forward.
Seems like you want some more charges.
She was like, yeah.
Yeah.
I was like, what you gonna do?
Yeah, what you gonna do?
Queen Latifah, what you gonna do? So I'm missing you.
Jennifer said, where's your hair?
Yeah.
I don't think that was a part of the script.
And the bad thing about it, that would be me, because I got Meek Mill braids right up underneath here too. So if I go to jail, someone's like, where's your hair? Be like, I got hair. It's just braided. Boo. So, Catherine was like, look at here. I ain't got my phone call yet. I told you in that goddamn room I'm a Harris. And stop playing.
I wish somebody give them the goddamn phone call. I'm sick of that too.
So she was like, what are you? Ooh, the boogeyman? Catherine was like, no. I'm a woman. I'm a woman. I said,
we can see that too.
That ain't really scared me.
Yeah,
Catherine.
Yeah.
You scared me last week.
Yeah, the other time, you was about that life, but with that
I
statement,
didn't even care.
You just checked out the game.
Yeah. So then the DA was like, okay, David Harrington, you're free to go. Everybody was like, what the heck?
It's like, what? It's like, okay, did you snitch on us? That's how they looked at it. Did you snitch on us to get out of here?
Yeah, so here comes Jim. Did you make a deal
with her? Did you make a deal?
He was like, no.
Because Jim was like, you ain't even get a phone call.
How did
this happen?
You made a deal. So David finally get up out of there, and he was like, why did you do this? She was like, I didn't.
I had nothing to do with it.
Said, Maggie Day did this. And she was like, after all of this, I loved you. Come to find out, he didn't even sleep with her.
Yeah, she said you almost got something, but you wanted to stay with that bee.
You've been faithful to her.
And now look.
I said. Then she was like, is Maggie Day that good? She got you out of here. Is she that good? I said, if he didn't sleep with you, why you think he slept with Maggie?
Exactly.
I'm just saying.
Yeah.
We already see that Black is his way. Why did you think that he would sleep with Maggie over you when he had ample opportunity?
But we almost forgot though, cause what's his name?
Who?
They just got out of jail.
Jeffrey?
Not Jeffrey.
David?
David, yeah. We forgot that Veronica said, David, can you get me out of here? He was like, no, I'm working on Jeffrey first, but I'm going to leave you in here.
But he told Catherine, he said, give me a couple hours to work on y'all. But I'm going to work on my son right now. Yeah. She said, well, our son can wait. Yeah.
Say, here you go.
You manipulative, cornrow worm. Get him.
And Joe was like, no, you going to stay in here.
I
let you stand. I wouldn't even let you out.
Nah.
I
set her cell on fire. She can't
my
go
grave
nowhere.
Say, piss on your goddamn grave and set it on fire.
What's that movie? I spit on your grave.
Spit on your grave.
I said, oh my God. So, David finally gets up out of there, meets Maggie. Why did you leak that stuff to the press? She was like, I did what I had to do to bury your wife and Jim in so many words. He was like, Jim, okay, but my wife, that is my wife. She like, and?
Your wife that had an affair?
Yeah, and then. So then he was like, look, how long? Who is that in the picture? She was like, I don't know. He said, you're lying. I know you're lying.
Why everybody just tell him? Why is you lying? Well, she had to lie because he wouldn't know that she took the photos. Because she lied about and said she don't know who took the photos. That a source.
Well, the source did take them right first.
Yeah, a source gave her the photo out the blue. Yeah. You know, who does that?
Yeah, so he was like, how long has she been having an affair? Now, my thing is, come on here. David, stop! Yeah, you know she wants you.
Yeah.
Why you giving her more ammunition to dig a deeper grave for your wife?
She's gonna start doing the research and try to figure out how long it's been. Cause
she know.
I mean, she really don't know. She just started having her follow.
Yeah, she know the timeline at least.
Yeah, but she ain't gonna tell her because she gonna know that David gonna know that she did it. She ain't gonna spill those beans.
Yeah, well, David wants her to retract the pictures.
Like, no.
So then David was like, look, let me use your phone. I gotta use your phone. I need to call somebody. He goes around the corner and I'm like, David, you know you already got that raspy voice.
Yeah, you can't whisper. Everybody can hear you a mile away.
He talk like my uncle. You can't whisper.
Yeah.
I hear everything you say. He go around the corner. Mama Rosa. I said. She like, yes.
So he done called him Malone's.
Said, I need you to tell me, is there a hit out for my wife? She said, not with me.
Not with me.
I said, what is this, the temp agency?
Like, what?
I mean, what is this?
She said, all I know is you can't go home.
You can't go home. But when you get a chance, come on by the restaurant.
Yeah, come on by the restaurant. Like, what?
She said, not with my company. Not with us.
Not with us.
I said, they the guy doing temp agency for murders.
So him and the temp agency, do they have set up to take people out?
I said, I'm done.
Do they have a phone book listed up and say, you know what, I think I'm gonna go with this one. We ain't used them in 6 months.
I'm gonna go with them over there. Lord, y'all, the DA got Jeffrey hemmed up in this room talking about some Wyatt has told me everything. We already know this.
Yeah, already know.
You know, and in exchange for his testimony, he has immunity. But he has also extended the olive branch for you as well. All you got to do is testify.
He was like, he did that?
He did that. So, yeah, he really cares about you. And I'm like, do not tell this fool that.
Don't tell him that.
So, Jeffrey was like, I won't do it. I won't testify against my father. And she was like, okay, so you'll go to jail.
You'll go to jail.
He was like, I didn't do anything. Nothing.
She said, yes, you did.
You hit the car.
You knew about it. You knew about it, and you ain't reported to the police.
So he was like, look, I'll just go to jail. I'm ready. Let's do it.
He was hard for a second there.
Yeah.
He was hard for a second there, but he was like, I'll testify against my mom.
Yeah, because the DA was going to leave up out of there, right?
He's like, yes.
He said, I'll testify against my mom and my mom alone. And she said, what is really going on between you and your mom? You don't really like your mom, do you? He said, I love my mom. She said, so why are you doing this? Because I love my mom.
She's evil. True.
Very true.
True.
And she was like, so where's all of this stemming from? He said, look, she blackmailed me with that car and hung it over my head to control me. That's why I'm so angry. She was like, but it doesn't make any sense. He was like, Miss, whatever her name is.
Jennifer.
I'm gay. And she don't want me to be gay. So she's been trying to control me into being straight. She was like, what? Yeah, we all have that same reaction too.
Yep.
It's like, what? And she was like, So what's going on between your mom and your dad?
I was like, here we go.
And he was like, I'm not going to get into that with you.
Yeah,
It's like, but it seems like they have a strained relationship. He was like, she treats my dad like skit.
Crap.
And she was like, how is that? He said, I'm not getting into it. He said, well, how about Maggie Day?
What do you know about her?
He was like, you already know.
You already know.
He said, but just so you know, they have been standing this surrounding. I don't know what's going on. They say they're not doing anything, but it's all speculation. I don't know. But she was like,
But he still gave her some more ammunition for her gun.
Yeah, I said, oh, God, here we go.
So she went from doing your job to being personal.
Yeah.
Because you can do that in the interrogation room because there's no cameras.
Yeah. So then she said, how about if I arrange to some kind of way get the trial separate? Then will you testify against your mom? He said, absolutely.
Without hesitation.
I said, woo!
Say,
this some karma for your harm.
Say, oh, Jeffrey is thug, nasty thug.
I said, all right.
I hope he take her down.
He gonna take her down.
I think everybody is gonna give him a standing ovation if he take her down.
We're gonna do like the Kenya Moore.
Yep. And the Oscar goes to
Jeffrey. So then we end up over at the hood. Look, we all have agreed that we hate Quincy's sister. She's a horrible actress.
She's horrible.
She's not convincing at all. Nah. I think she's one of Tyler's projects.
Yeah, he giving her a shot.
It's not working.
Nah.
You need to get one of us YouTubers. I'm just saying. So she's like, yeah, she's like, whatever the guy name is. Why you took so long? You took so long. You need to track my brother. He was
like what? You know which guy told me you know how to track my brother on the phone, you know?
He was like, yeah. He was like, how much they paying you for this gig? $10,000.
Well, he better wait for that. It's like, what?
She act like she on that skit, man.
Yeah, she on that skit.
So I was like, okay. So she was like, well, can you track it? He was like, yeah, I need, a device or something.
She said, you go get the computers.
Why'd they come out with a milk crate?
Yeah, full of computers.
Oh, this one don't work. He go literally this fast. Oh, there you go right here.
Right there. Where the address?
He at the candy cane factory.
Say what? He said, but that's a house.
But that's a house.
It's like, what?
First of all, that whole scene wasn't convincing at all. You typed it in that fast, got a ping back that fast.
Yeah.
Candy ain't been in that daggone house 22 seconds. And they already got her registered in Zillow, Realtor.com, and Google Maps and Google Earth. Miss me with that.
Yeah. That won't convince it.
Whatever.
And we know anybody who ever had to track their phone know it don't work that fast.
Yeah. And
first of all, you got to log in.
You got to log in. But anyway, you tried, Tyler. You tried.
Yeah.
We see what you're working with. So the girl was like, look, that's a nice neighborhood. We need to go over there with a banging car. He was like, I got a nice car. She was like, no. Not nice to you, but nice to them folk over there. We need to blend into that neighborhood. We going over there. And Quincy got my car. Oh, so that's her car.
Yeah.
You in for a rude awakening, boo-boo.
Yeah, you about ready to go down.
Yeah. So then we get Hannah over there with Lil Q. We know Lil Q been sick for a little bit. And he wake up, he in cold sweats, he in his drawers. I'm going to go in on Tyler real quick and I'm going to leave it alone. Tyler has been doing these forced sex scenes this whole freaking season, which I do not appreciate because it's really rubbing me the wrong way. I'm sick of people being forced to have sex and sexual acts on people. Tyler, what are you doing? And then this episode, we get to see Lil Q in his underwear. Yeah. I don't like that.
Nah.
I know it's an innocent little thing, but in the world that we live in right now, you got too many. You got too many pedophiles out here. You already giving us these forced sex scenes, and I'm over it. I'm tired of,
AKA soft porn.
Soft porn. You got War making Candy go down on him last week. You got the police officer trying to make him go down. Jeffrey go down on him a couple of episodes ago. No, Tyler, stop.
Yeah.
What are you doing? I'm over it.
Boom.
Yeah, so I just told you off on your own review. But so Lil Q is running around in his underwear. They're trying to get him straight because Hannah knows at this point she need to find a way to get him to the doctor.
Yeah, because he about 150 degrees.
Yeah, so she calls the cab and she was like, how much is it going to cost me to take him to county? And they was like $18. Well, we know she ain't got but $8, $9.
She ain't about $8.
So she told him to come pick up anyway. I said, ooh.
Piss me
why she just ain't call her son?
Yeah, why you didn't call Benny?
That goddamn pride gonna get Lil Quincy killed. I'm over her too. So the cab finally comes. And I'm gonna skip ahead because I just want to get over it. Cab comes, picked him up. she started looking at the meter, and she was like, how far are we away? You know where you at.
You know where you at. Yeah, you know good and well you...
So she was like, look, I only got $9. He was like, well, I'm going to have to put you out.
Put you out.
So he pulls into this, like, side street, and it looked like a car lot, like a tow lot. I said, oh, is that Benny's place?
Yeah.
Because that would be real convenient if she got dropped off over there. But she goes and she sits on this bench that looked like a bus stop.
But first of all, she tried to beg him to take Q to the house. He's sick. They don't buy that.
And it didn't work. I thought it was going to work for a minute,
Yeah, they don't buy that because they get all kinds of excuses to take people somewhere. So your pride got you on the bench.
Got you on the bench. And I'm like, where's the phone? Because she looked like she was looking for her phone and she couldn't find it. Did she leave it in the cab? Did she leave it at the hotel? I don't know. Lil Q passes out. Because Lil Q had already told her, I need my medicine, my stomach hurt, and my aunt got it. Lil Q passes out. So I just want to get that scene out the way because I don't want to talk about it no more. Because that's going to lead us into the whole mess of next week.
Yeah.
So Jeffrey goes to see old White. White's still running around there half naked.
Mm-hmm.
He happens a June bug.
Got his bags packed, coming in there with his little bag.
He lays on the couch, and I said, is he trying to seduce Jeffrey? It looked kind of weird to me.
Yeah, it did look kind of weird because he was...
So he pretty much told Jeffrey, look, I did it. I put him away.
I got us immunity.
I gave you a favor. Jeffrey was like, you gave me a favor. You stole my car.
Yeah, and you put me in this. You hit them people.
So this ain't no favor.
Yeah.
You drugged me into this.
He said, but I got you in it, though.
So Jeffrey was like, look, I got a whole bunch of stuff going on. It's just too much, too soon. I just need to get my head straight. And, I stabbed him.
He was like, stab what? Stab what? Stab who?
No. I just need to get away. I just need to get away.
What you talking about?
So Wyatt tells Jeffrey, look, I got the $12 million coming, He was like, you can't handle $12 million. Yeah, I agree. Yeah, he already smoked it up.
Yeah.
So he was like, no, you
can't
handle
ain't even got the money yet.
Knock on the goddamn door. He was like, who was that? Is that your parents? He was like, why would my parents be knocking on the door? Good point. Candy cane.
Don't candy cane in the house.
Here come Wyatt going into a-hole mode.
Uh-huh.
What you doing in here, whore? She was like, whatever. She was like, I need you to come with me, Jeffrey. Jeffrey was like, mm-mm. She was like, look, I need you to come with me.
Yeah, because we in this
together.
Yeah.
And here come White. It's over.
It's over.
It's over.
We got immunity. And she was like, what? Yeah. He told everything. He told it all. He told all. So by this time, she's thinking like,
he done told
this
on
fool
me.
done told that we can kill Q.
And he got immunity that quick.
Yeah.
So he was like, yeah. He went to the police and told her. So she was like, Jeffrey, you been to the police? And Jeffrey, instead of him clarifying it, he going right along with this dumb stuff.
Yeah.
I went to the police. You know what she thinking.
You know exactly what's going on.
So she was like, okay. Hey. So Wyatt was like, yeah. He told everything. Because it was me. I drove the car. I hit your brother.
I hit your brother and the little girl.
She said,
what?
You hit my brother? She was like, so you knew this whole time that he hit my brother and you didn't tell me? Yes. He said, you know what? My life been a living hell ever since I met you.
I was like, why is you turning this around on her?
She was like, I gave you the courage to come out, live in your truth, give you a backbone to stand up against your mama.
Yeah,
that's what I did.
Yeah, she been in your corner ever since, and you gonna turn now?
Yeah, so he was like, look, I just want you to leave me alone. I don't ever want to see you again. She was like, look, we are in this together.
From the front and the back.
Remember that. She said, so when you finish with him using you up, you know where to find me.
So in other words, he gonna end right on back over in her lap.
So I said, yeah, she made them stabbing motions to let you know I will turn this on you quickly. Yeah. So Jeffrey was like,
couldn't say nothing.
Couldn't say nothing at all.
Yeah.
So she goes to get ready to leave about the door. Wyatt was like, my dad's locked up. What's your rate?
Yeah, I got the money like my dad now.
How much? She looks at it. She said,
it's not big enough.
It's not big enough. And walks out the door.
But I was like, you dummy. You let her know that you
got
loaded.
Money.
And she gonna, I can almost guarantee you.
She gonna recoup her money from
she
him.
Gonna get, because you know that she got on War, what, $4 million?
1.5, because he thinks she got 4.
He won $4.5 million. So yeah, she coming after you.
Yeah, she gonna get that $12 million about your house. Well, probably about 11 because he done smoked $1 million already, probably. So I said, "Ooh, you slipped, boo boo.
Yeah, you done slipped and let her know that you paid."
Yeah.
Yep.
So I said, "Alright." And so that was basically it. It wasn't as good as last week, but I think next week gonna lead us.
Yeah, this is a stepping stone to lead us into the epic stuff that's gonna happen next week. I can't wait for next week.
Oh, I did forget to mention that Jennifer noticed that Jeffrey had blood on his shirt.
Yeah.
And
he said
he hit a deer.
He hit a deer. He had to move the deer on the road. She was like,
okay.
She didn't believe him, but she just let him go.
She wants Veronica so bad.
So she don't even
You
care.
could have told her your period was on, and she would have believed it.
She no good and well that player didn't move no deer out the road.
No No D?
No deer out there. Yeah, you know good and well you ain't moving. Who does that? Don't nobody ever get out and move the deer out their way. Well, they get the deer and take the deer home and cut it up and eat it. But he ain't gonna get nobody to get out and move the deer so they can go and they back on up and going around the deer.
Yeah. So that was it, y'all. It was a pretty goddamn good episode. Yeah, but it didn't have last week.
Last week was just like, whew.
Yeah. So y'all, straight from the VA.
The dirty stuff. Oh yeah, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe and tell everybody you know about Stanley Net on Random TV Reviews.
Alright, now y'all, I'm going to bed.
Holla.